Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Nice. Me too. Which is cool. So let's dig into today. Um, I talked briefly about my meeting with Joe. Joe James is his name, the marketing guy. And I told you a little bit about kind of some of the stuff, but I thought we'd do a deeper dive. So some of the stuff I'm probably going to repeat because God knows I can't retain squat. And so I don't know what I have said and haven't said. So just bear with me on that part. And then the other stuff we'll dig into some new stuff and all that. So um, it used to be way back when you were looking for any kind of service, you actually went looking for services. So you had to look up who the roofer was, who the plumber was, or you had to talk to your friends, and it was intentional marketing. So they might have an ad or something, or maybe like a billboard on a building, because they used to do that. Coca-Cola did that all the time on old buildings. They put, right on the building. They might have had some of that kind of stuff, but it was intentional. And then in 1941, I had to look this up because God knows I don't know sports. The Brooklyn Dodgers were up against the Philadelphia Phillies. And before the first pitch in 1941, the first commercial ever aired. So let me share my screen and let's grab, why is it not showing? Oh, I need to get this over here first. Okay, let me stop. Okay, let me get rid of here. Let me reshare my screen to pull up this. This actually, here's what we want. Okay, let's move the little boxy thing over, which on my screen will not move over. Can you guys just see, is it just like a regular, is there a strip running down the YouTube bar?
Not that I see.
Good deal, because we don't want the strip running down the YouTube bar and I can't get it to unstrip.
Not vertically anything.
Okay, perfect. So here's the very first commercial that ever aired. Let's go.
America runs on Bolivar time.
That was it. 10 seconds long. It cost, oh, shut up, you over here. Go away. Stop talking. Bye. It cost $4 for that ad, and it cost $5 for the airtime, which in last year's dollars was $147, I think is what they came up to. But 147 for 10-second ad on Boulevard. That was the first interruptive marketing. And from that point forward, marketing was interruptive. It interrupted what you were doing. Okay, and that's what marketing has been up until social media. So if I toss this out there, bless you, can you guys think of any kind of interruptive marketing besides like television commercials? Can you guys think of anything else that's interruptive marketing?
Radio.
Radio, what else?
Billboards.
Billboards, a bit, yeah. What else?
YouTube ads.
YouTube ads, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even Facebook ads for that
Are
matter.
you trying to say telephone?
Telemarketers. It all
yeah.
interruptive. That's what it is. And we did it because the job of anybody in sales is to break marketing. And so we broke it. We broke all that, which is it's not a bad thing. It's just what we do. We broke it. So then marketing moved into social media, and it became, oh gosh, what is the name of that marketing? It's, I think it's called like naturalist marketing or something along those lines. And what that is are, when you're scrolling through your Facebook and there's an ad, but it's like a video and it doesn't look like an ad, but it says on the tiny corner, sponsored by or whatever. And it's a sweet story of a dog or, whatever, right? I mean, there's all kinds of, and some of that stuff's done really, really good. And so kind of that's what marketing started to move into. And it became Facebook and Facebook really changed the game because Facebook became followers and influencers. And so he told me this about Facebook, which I found very interesting. In the beginning, Facebook was, if I was your friend, I saw your stuff. And if you were my friend, you saw my stuff. And if I tagged you, your friend saw my stuff too. So it worked that way. It was all about who your friends were and how it worked. And then Facebook changed their algorithm more towards, I want to make money and I want to get eyes. And so if this gets me a lot of eyes, I'm going to put it in front of a lot more people who might be connected to friends of friends of friends, might not be. You might be like, I don't know who the hell this person is. I don't know where they came from. right? It's because this thing got a lot of eyes on it, or they paid money. And the way Facebook works now is they want both. So if you do a video, for instance, and it gets a ton of shares of the best, if it gets a ton of shares, then they will, if you want to boost it, they will charge you much less because it's already doing its job of shares. If it's not, and it's not getting any responses, they're going to charge you more. So it's a balancing game. They're not out to get you. They're just out to get eyes and money. That's just the way it works now. So he said, if you're going to use Facebook, he said, you need to use it in a couple of different ways, but one of the ways to use it is as the cheapest data research you will ever do. Did I tell you guys about the 4-Hour Workweek book? I told you, okay, Kathy's saying no, so I'm going to repeat it again.
Well, then I must have forgot.
It's a
Okay,
fantastic book.
So the 4-Hour Workweek book, when Tim Ferriss was going to be going to launch that, he had two working titles. Let's do it this way. He had the 4-Hour Workweek, and he had something like Get Your Financial Freedom or Your Time Freedom or something like that. And he didn't know which one would work. So he ran the exact same ad on Facebook, 2 different thumbnails. One was titled 4-Hour Workweek, and that was a thumbnail picture. And the other one was Your Financial Time Freedom, whatever that was there. And then he paid $5, $8, $10, whatever it was. And he got 200 hits on the 4-Hour Workweek and 1 hit on the other one. And he shut down the ad because he already had his answer. So he said, if you're going to use Facebook, he said, marketing is all about trial and error. He goes, you try things. He goes, write the ad. And the copy is usually pretty, like, leave the copy alone, but rotate through. And Facebook ads will allow you to do this. Rotate through. He said he usually runs as many as 7 different thumbnails. And then it will show you what's hitting and what's not hitting. And he goes, one thumbnail for no reason that you can discern is going to appeal to people, and that's the one you run with. So use Facebook like that. He said, take your Facebook, never, ever, ever edit an ad. He said, because what happens if you're running it out on Facebook, let it mess with the algorithm, because it is spending a lot more money hitting an algorithm than you are. And you got to just trust the algorithm. So let it hit the algorithm. Like, I only set up for my ad that I'm doing, which Joe's like, this ad's a mess and we're redoing it. Anyway, I only set up real estate agents. I said, I've got age groups and all that I could do. And he goes, don't let it do the algorithm. He goes, and never, ever, ever edit an ad. Because if you edit an ad, Facebook goes, oh, everything is completely wrong. And it starts all over again. And it will really skew your results. So if you're like, wait, I wonder if this would work better, or I want to up my ad budget to double what I'm spending because it is working, do not edit that ad. Run another one simultaneous and do it that way and let them both run. So just never, ever edit ad, pull it down or add another one in, but do not edit that particular ad. So Facebook is really good for the cheapest data research you're ever going to get. Then TikTok came along, and TikTok does not work off followers. TikTok works off of content. So look at this. It's everything about peaches. You clicked on it. You like peaches. Peaches are awesome. I'm going to show you more peaches ad. Peaches, peaches, peaches. Oh, hang on. Would you like apples? Peaches are like apples. Here's an apple ad. Oh, don't like that one. Just peaches. Or you do like apples. Maybe you like all fruit. Here's all fruit. And that is the way that it works. So it's really about a catchy, short video that gets your attention immediately, that makes people go, oh, hang on, I do want to watch the whole 45 seconds or, whatever your short little video is. And then it's doing more content like that. And in order to get people to keep on seeing that same thing. In the beginning, apparently, TikTok will boost your stuff because it's designed to get you addicted. So it will take your posts and it will show it to massive amounts of people. And also, it doesn't really know, is this post going to be a good one? Is this post not good? Maybe this person's really good. Let's get it out there and see how many people will like it. So if you're going to TikTok, he said, you'll want different channels. So if you want a TikTok, like some people do TikToks of, they'll have just funny stuff. and then they'll have mindset stuff, and then puppies, who cares, whatever the third, they'll have different things depending upon what kind of mood they're in and what they want to go after. So that is the way to kind of work TikTok. It's very specific, almost like on Instagram, you want channels. You don't want, like, Facebook's your whole life, and you want it to be across the board in Facebook, because that's what it's about. It's about, the whole person. So that's the TikTok web. If you're not on TikTok, and my daughter actually taught me this one, she's like, get on there. And because in the beginning I looked at it and I'm like, these suck. And she said, I trust you. If you just like or dislike, 100 videos, it will know who you are in 20 minutes flat. In 20 minutes flat, it knew who I was. It knew exactly who I was and what I like. And now my TikTok is this wonderful, inspirational, full of really good stuff, because I went through and I'm like, I hate that music. I don't like that person. And I don't like that video. And I just did that. I don't like, love, don't like, love. And it just started filtering through really, really quickly of who you like and who you love. And that's what it shows me. So that is sort of the history of advertising and where we are and how things work today in social media. So for me personally, we dug into who I am and what I like and don't like. And so that is kind of what I was hoping to do today, to kind of dig in and to see, like, who wants to talk about, I hate doing this part of it, I like doing this part of it. And then let's kind of pitch in together with some ideas to get it to be something that does excite you, that you do like, that is like, yeah, I do want to do that. So, thoughts?
In terms of, okay, I'll chime in here, because this is my big hurdle, I guess. I like the execution stage of the working with the people, getting in there, working with the people. I cannot stand and still have problems with all the admin and marketing stuff that gets me to that space. In other words, I'm not on social media for all the noise and drama it brings for a reason. It's exhausting to me. But even doing like, I guess I don't mind doing the direct mail marketing piece. It's just the whole, can we get to the finish line and work with the people already? Like, I just have a hard time getting to that space unless I meet somebody organically, we start a conversation and things just kind of start going from that space, where I'm meeting them and we're talking to them and we're having conversations about real estate, or, talking about other things, and it leads to the relationship that gets me to the execution stage of where I can help them. It's all the other stuff before it that I'm just kind of like, if I have to sit down and look at this one more time about setting up the direct mail campaign or whatever, it's just kind of like, oh. But I will say this, yesterday, this was brilliant. Yesterday, a lead came to me indirectly, because a lead or a postcard for someone to purchase, who was looking to purchase property from an individual that used to live at this residence came in. And I'm like, you hit the wrong person, but I'm going to see if I can find him and talk to him that way. But
I love that.
Getting to the execution point, like the lead gen stuff, then
Do you know how many times I wanted to call when the postcards come to my house your house is worth this, do you want to sell? Do you know how many times I wanted to call that agent and go, does this ever work with you? I mean, would you like to talk about other ways to work things? Anyway, but I don't, because I've tried it a couple of times way back when, and it's come up really rude, or they perceived it as that. But okay, so let's dig into you. So you want to get in front of people as fast as possible without having to do a ton of work. Is that correct?
Yeah, a ton of like, mailings or plastering my face on billboards and all that stuff, which I'm not going to do that kind of work.
Right. So, and ideally, would getting in front of somebody be something like a 20-minute coffee date or Zoom date or something along those lines? Like tell me what getting in front of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have, and you're not on any social media on any way?
No,
Okay,
I'm
what
not.
group are you in?
LinkedIn, and it's not updated right now, but LinkedIn will probably be the only one if I build, I'm gonna build robustly. And I'm sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm on a video meeting actually at my office. So that's
I
why.
don't care. It's all good.
But yeah, LinkedIn will probably be the extent of any sort of social media space.
Okay, so what social groups are you involved in? Like where's the tribe now?
So the tribe now is my sphere, which is like families and parents and friends that we met through this kids school network. It's with a women's financial meetup group that I've been with for a couple of years. It's with another financial community that's local and across the country that I've been a part of for years. It's with, those are probably the primary ones right now. Higher ed, I mean, any higher ed contacts and groups I'm still involved in there on a loose basis.
Okay.
And volunteer networks that I'm building. into.
Okay, so but there's not really a sphere there yet.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys, what can Liz do to get in front of people or get appointments set just to talk about, I'm assuming you want to talk about investing in real estate or what that might, or whatever that might look like.
Yeah.
Okay, what can Liz do working with family, kids, parents, and then the 2 financial groups and the higher education that she's involved in to get appointments set, just to have conversations? That's all it is. Not, do you want to buy or sell, just to have conversations.
See?
The first
Okay.
thing, maybe sponsoring events or holding events at those organizations with a topic that would potentially be mutually interesting for the members. Like one of the things that I'm putting together, or at least I have planned to put together as soon as I can breathe, is organizing an HOA-wide type of talk about protesting taxes, because one of the reasons people hate Texas is because of the high property taxes. And
Oh,
I
there's
have a nonprofit. Yes, and I have a nonprofit organization that actually can protest them for you, and all the funds go to fund affordable housing. So I want to go ahead and organize an event where it would benefit the homeowners because they'd be able to protest their taxes, and at the same time gather funds for the nonprofit aspect of things. So something like that, where it's an event, an opportunity to sort of give yourself a stage to talk about what you do, and just to introduce yourself and how you can potentially help them. Like coming up with value content to provide to the
Yeah,
people through a variety of events. That would be one thing that I could think of.
I love that. Thank you.
I do
And I
too.
love the one you're putting together too. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
Texas is double taxed as far as property tax. It's sky high.
Yeah, they really are very high. But what's interesting is a lot of people have that misunderstanding that it's so high. But on the overall tax index, it's actually ranked the 7th lowest because of the fact that we have no property taxes. So our overall tax impact is ranked number 7 as far as being the lowest. But people just hear about the sky high property taxes and just get scared off.
Right.
Hmm.
I love that. What about, I want to get to know, okay, I love the event thing, and I think I want to stick with that for a minute. We have so much value that we've had through our Monday Night Live events. You could, through your women's financial groups, is there a larger parent organization that you could partner up with somebody like the land guy that we just had on, partner up, and the 2 of you do something like he's on Zoom, but you're there. Maybe you present him and somebody else that's.
Okay, it's interesting that you say that because the financial independence community group that I belong to is just leaning in to the larger network that the Financial Women's Group. So let me put it this way. The Financial Women's Meetup group that I belong to is based on the Vanguard principles. So it's all about, it's the Boglehead group. And for years, the financial independence community that I also belong to has been out there, talking their stuff, telling you how to retire early, how you can do it these other ways. And they're just now leaning in or being introduced to the Vanguard group and its principles on a larger level for them to kind of unpack and understand what it is how the two groups can work together. So I do see it coming together at some point, because I've introduced it into the smaller network with the women.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that it's going to be embraced quickly, just because some of the principles, nothing's like drastically different. But for example, with the Bogleheads, you save in these buckets, you consistent over time, you retire when you're going to retire based on how society tells you. And the Choose FI community is exactly the opposite. They're like, you can save at whatever savings rate you want to for 10 or 15 years, put them in the same buckets, which are Vanguard buckets, and retire at 35 if you want. And so
Right.
it's by, managing your expenses, paring down your lifestyle, and all these different things that they offer. So I think it's some of the lifestyle extremes that are, keeping the groups kind of slow in coming together. But that's exactly what I've been looking at with that space particularly.
The cool thing, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The cool thing with doing something like that is it crosses across all your genres of all your different spheres, and it gets you a really great opportunity to contact your sphere and go, I'm heading up this event. It is this amazing thing on come, I want you to come. And
Yeah.
it gets you that because you do excel at anything face to face. And then from there, make sure that you've got to grab emails and phone numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be part of the registration process where you get that. And then from there, you can reach back out and set up one-on-ones with, I would love to sit down and talk with you about all the different, strategies that there are. I've got 80 things at my fingertips, but I just want to know about you. And then
Right.
that your one-on-ones with people to just dig into, and the whole conversation is just, who are you and what do you want to do? And have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? All right, let's get together. And then the next, let's get another appointment to get a plan together. And then
Right. And I think
then
what's so exciting
Yeah.
exciting for me about it is there's such a beautiful intersection that can occur in the affordable housing space, particularly because one of the big principles with the Choose FI community is like affordable housing. And I think it could intersect so beautifully. It's just not there yet, but I am excited because one of the appointments I have this weekend is with someone from the women's Boglehead group, and that's what she wants to talk about. She wants to talk about investing and housing and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is one inroads in, but I could totally see it exploding so beautifully if the two groups could just kind of,
Now,
continue to understand.
yes,
Where
and
they're
I'll call you
coming
one
from.
second, sweetie. Now, doesn't this feel different than where you felt at the beginning of this conversation?
Oh, absolutely.
See, that's
Yeah.
what it did for me too. It completely changed how I feel. And instead of me looking at 3 pages of notes going, oh my God, I can never get this done. Now I have massive excitement. Like I cannot wait to get on the phones today to start talking and texting and calling and all that kind of stuff. Okay, Anna, go. You can get your hand up.
Yeah, I have a couple of things came to mind, Liz, when you were talking. So I would say one of the first things they could do is maybe come together with like maybe an insurance agent in the area and put together an event on how to grow and protect your wealth. And you could talk about essentially the utilization of real estate as well as, collaboration of that with maybe a life insurance product, or perhaps you could team up with someone who does uh, self, um, uh, self-directed
Directed.
IRAs or something of that extent where you can essentially introduce a strategy where they can use those funds to invest in real estate. You will become known as the expert advisor in that space and sort of establish that hub going into your community. The second thing that came to mind was why not just open a branch within that network that you're already part of for
Mhm.
women investors in real estate? We actually have a
Mhm.
group here that just does like massive advertising now because their group is so big, but it literally is nothing different than just investment strategies, just geared towards the women. And you already have the hub, you already have that foundation where you are part of a network that would potentially grow into this additional sector. So I would really think about starting something like that, where I'm so sorry, where you can actually say like, "Hey, come and join my group," or something like that, where you could start off maybe providing like free education, free resources, and down the road, depending on where it takes you, potentially even convert it to like a paid exclusive membership type of thing. So there's like a lot of potential for growth, I think.
I think so
I
too.
love
And
that.
and um, it's really hitting a group that, I mean, Gary's been talking to us for 2 years. If you're gonna do anything, gear it towards women, he's like, trust me, you're going, they always take off. They just do. So, this is cool. I'm
This
excited
is
for you.
cool. Thank you very much, because you're right. I mean, the self-directed IRA thing, I started going down because I've been looking, I'm in Jay Connor's program, so I've been looking at stuff in that space. And I'm like, okay, that's one thing I could totally get on board with. But it's interesting that you said even the women's investors in real estate piece of it, because every time I sign on to these calls, they're like, oh, our resident real estate person is here. And I'm like, yes. And there is a section like they hold for me to be like, just ask questions. It's not, the whole group is not meant to be geared towards one specific area or another. It's just kind of like, what's everybody doing in their financial space? And I thought about that. I'm like, I should just ask and see if some of them in here want to just do an offshoot and start our own thing. And I don't know why I've been hesitant to do it, other than I'm, blocking myself, but thank you, because I think I'm gonna revisit that again and just see what happens, including starting with the appointment I have this weekend and see how it goes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah, of course. Oh,
Yeah.
one thing that I wanted to talk to you, Gina, about, I talked to a lender yesterday just about partnering with someone that's more reliable. And this guy, him and his wife have put out a lot of a really great loan product type of info sessions here locally. And I confirmed that he's essentially able to issue loan products anywhere in the country. But one of the coolest loan products he has is a non-QM loan product that is able to lend money to investors without actually verifying your income, which would be phenomenal for the 1099ers specifically,
Mhm.
who are more entrepreneurial types. I was going to bring it up to Gary to see if we could feature this guy on one of our Monday nights, because I think he would be a phenomenal resource
Here's
for
how you
all
do
of
it.
us here.
I love it. Here's how you do it. Send an email to Gary and Bev and this guy and introduce them. And I put in the subject podcast introduction, because what Gary will do is
Okay.
they'll gather up some information. They'll see if they can get them on the podcast. And once they put on the podcast, that's the tool that Gary uses to go, yeah, you're going to be really good for my group. So he filters that way.
Okay.
So it's super easy.
Gotcha.
Podcast intro, hit Bev and Gary and that guy and just do an intro.
So Anna,
Okay.
does he require a down payment? Or how much of a down payment?
Honestly, he has like 100 and some different loan products, but that one was specifically unique because it caters to a large variety of investors that I work with that may not be able to necessarily show like the income requirements. I'm
Yeah,
sure, like this guy, whatever the scenario, like say you have somebody that doesn't have the money and wants to buy a house, or whatever the scenario that you have, this guy literally could come up with like so many solutions for you to at least one solution to get them to home ownership or on the investment journey. That's what I love about him, because he has so many loan products. But that one particular one stood out to me. To be honest with you, Craig, I'm not sure what the specific down payment requirements are, but I do know that instead of looking at your income, for example, they look at your assets, like it would be an asset-based type of assessment, and zero consideration for actual income, which would have been amazing for me, because I stayed home after I had my kids. I had the money. I had no actual income to do it. And the traditional loan products wouldn't have let me continue on the investing journey. This guy's stuff would have. So it really opens up doors to a lot of people, like doctors that I'm working with. They just got out of med school, or they're just getting into residencies or getting out of residencies where their income was absolutely nothing. And suddenly they, there's just so many scenarios that I saw this fitting in with. I'm not quite sure as to the answer to your question. I'm happy to ask him if you have someone in
I was
mind.
asking specifically because I had a lender yesterday. She mentioned the same thing. She had a investor product that's similar, but I think they wanted like 10 or 20% down.
Gotcha.
payment.
I,
Do you know
It's
which
called
company she's with?
DCSR loan or DSCR loan or something
Oh
like that.
yeah, it's debt. It's yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. DSCR loans. They are, yeah, they basically look at the potential for income generation that
Yeah.
a property will have
Yeah, that's what she said.
over
Yeah.
the rest of the factors. Yeah, so that's one of the loan products.
look into
That's
that.
not as unique. Like you can find that with a lot of lenders, to be honest.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need to look into that also. I talked with Gary last night, and I've talked with my husband first, but I believe that I talked with Gary first. But I believe that we are going to sell that little chunk of land, and then I want to take that and do something with it. But I don't know what I want to do with it yet. Mostly because it will cost me too much to put into it to get it to the point where I could do anything with it, and the prices are not high enough if I do that. So it would take me a while for the ROI, and I'm like, it was a free dang chunk of land. I'm like, I might as well just sell the free, it's a free chunk of land, you know what I mean? So it's not worth a 10, but it's something, so.
Where is it?
It's in Palatka, which is apparently, now that I have my daughter moved up there because we could afford that place up there to get her into, it is the cheapest county in the entire state, and Florida's already cheap. So there you go.
Yeah,
It's between me and St. Augustine. So it's which the coolest thing about it, I think the only cool thing about it, other than my daughter's there now, is that it does not get hit with any, like it has the least hurricane problems ever of any place in all of Florida. You're safest here of anything because of how far, we know where it's located and all that. But anyway.
What
So,
about gators?
oh, please, everywhere.
yeah.
I mean, gators,
Among
bears,
other things.
she lives in there's massive bears. There's a massive, I mean, I've seen two in just a few, 9 months or whatever, I've seen two. So, and I've only seen one, well, it's the same bear that we see here all the time. So, but it's not different bear. Anyway, all right. Liz, thank you for raising your hand to be in the hot seat for this. That was awesome.
Thank you for allowing the opportunity. It was wonderful. I
It's
appreciate
very
Liz'
cool.
feedback.
It's very cool. So think about what it is you hate about advertising, marketing, what it is that you do like. And the reason why that's so important is because if you're doing what you love, which for me, it's like this kind of stuff, if you're doing what you love, you come off as authentic because you are authentic, because you're a real human being, versus when I'm trying to do this, I feel like this, who should I be? This is not me. I'm talking to a green dot. There's nobody here. I don't know. And because I feel so weird, I don't do it. And I'd really rather just do if I was going to do real estate, if I'm going to do anything, I would just really rather do it with real people. And for me to be real, it's more of this kind of a thing for me personally. So figure out where you're very real also. And if you guys want to hot seat out another person and deal with that again on Tuesday, and someone wants to do that, we will completely just let me know at the beginning of the meeting, and we will hot seat for like the last 15 minutes for you also, for whatever you guys want to dig into. And that stands for
Do you
anything.
know-
What?
Oh, sorry, love. Just to address what you were saying, it was really cool. Just the other day, I saw a video on TikTok. Do you follow Glenda Baker?
No, I
She's
don't
like,
know.
she has like a huge following. I don't know exactly how much, but she's really cool. Her videos are very entertaining on TikTok. But one of the things she was talking about is how she absolutely cannot look at the camera because she hates the idea of talking to nothing. So one of her video, I guess, social media consultants said, instead of that, actually think of the camera as like somebody. And for the first couple of videos, they actually sat a live person on the chair that she was supposed to be looking towards to
Uh-huh.
film. And she just talked to a person. She was just talking to a person. And that's how her authentic self came out. And from that point on, she's like, every video I did, I would actually envision that person sitting there. And I was thinking that, okay, I'm talking to him. And so it just became natural after that. But she has a huge following. That was her thing. She's like, I can't stand the idea of looking at a camera. And so they just tried this approach and it worked. So try that maybe.
I love that. Thank you. I was thinking, as soon as you started that, I was like, I should just take and to my computer, I should just put a ruler up there and put someone's face, like a fake face on there. So at least I'm talking to a fake face, or at least eyes above it or something like that. My daughter said something so similar too. She said, Mom, she goes, millennials and above have a rough time with this. What are those ones below millennials? The Gen Zers, I guess, the Zers and below. She goes, for them, they've been raised on cameras. Like their parents have documented their life. They've just been raised on it. So they have no issues with it. They can just talk and they feel like they're talking to a human being. She said, I promise you, once you start getting people interacting with you, she said, because you'll feel like you're talking to them. And then you've got the interactions afterwards, which is this. And she's like, I promise you, you will get over it. And I'm like, well, until I feel more comfortable, I think I'm going to do this. And if there's tidbits, I'll grab this, but I am going to stick a face up there, at least maybe a set of eyes. Maybe I'll take my husband's eyes and put them, maybe not my husband. Maybe I'm talking to my husband about real estate-y stuff because he hears me this way all the time anyway. But thank you for that. I think I'm going to try some eyes up there. That's cool. You'll see me with my phone and a stick and eyes. You guys will know what's going on. All right, you all.
What
Right.
was Kay's news? I
Yeah.
thought Kay had news.
Okay, where are you going?
Oh, she's still there.
She's here, but not here, or she's on mute, or she can't figure out how to unmute, or I'm not really sure if I'll ask her to unmute. Nope, it's not clicking in for some reason.
Okay, I'm
Oh.
going to Israel.
Oh, nice.
Yay, nice.
Isn't that awesome?
I'm excited.
I'm
Hey,
excited for
I
you.
need the stuff. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So when you leave in, and if we need to support you, I know you've got some backup support that's got your back end also. And if you need any other kind of support, let us know.
I will. I think I've got everything covered and I leave tomorrow at about 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Wow. Are you packed?
Semi. Today's packing day.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Every time my friend goes to Israel, she always, she takes a whole suitcase full of shampoo and other stuff like that for, I don't know who she gives it to over there, but she just brings a bunch of American shampoo, conditioner, and things like that for some reason.
Huh,
Kind of chaos, so interesting. Anyway, she travels to Jerusalem so much that she has to tell them some fake reason of why she's going there because they're afraid that she's over there proselytizing.
Oh dear.
Oh, boy.
So just to go tell them, I know she's actually been in trouble for going over there so much, and she loves it. And she's got all massive friends and family over there. Well, not family, massive friends, and she just loves going over there. So, and she's built these friendships over the decades. It was pretty cool. So, if you run into another person named Kay Harris, then you got to tell her Gina says hi.
I
Not
will,
that-
absolutely.
For that, but whatever. All right.
Have a good
Okay.
time. Safe travels.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Safe travels.
Welcome, Dios.
Bye.
The rest of you guys have a great weekend. Super looking forward to my weekend and chilling back and getting a bunch of marketing and stuff ready because that's my weekend this weekend. So go sell a house. Bye, you all.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.